21, a line intersects two parallel lines. So here are two parallel lines, and here's that line, aka a transversal. Forms four acute angles, which I'll mark out in red, and four obtuse angles, which I'll do in green. The measure of one of the acute angles is 9x minus 560. So this is 9x minus 560. The sum of the measures of one of the acute angles and three of the obtuse angles is this. What is the value of W? Okay, first things first, we've got these parallel lines. The key point to remember is, you could do, alternate interior angles, you could do alternate exterior angles, you could do corresponding angles, all that good stuff. But our picture kind of shows, I think, a faster way to think about this, which is when we have these two parallel lines cut by a transversal, all we're basically doing is taking these four angles here and copy pasting them here, such that if I added another parallel line, I would just take these four angles and copy paste them here. So if you just see, okay, look, these four angles are the same as these four accordingly, you don't really need alternate interior, alternate exterior, etc. So the consequence here is we know that this is 9x minus 560. We know that this is 9x minus 560. We know this is 9x minus 560. Okay. Now, what about the green angle? We know that the sum of this guy with three of the greens is this, and we want to find W. But let's first figure out, can we get a measure for green, ignoring the W for a second? We can, because what's true about this setup, or really any setup where we have these lines intersecting, is that, for example, these two angles, or these two angles, it doesn't matter, must add up to 180. So 9x minus 560 plus, I'll just call this y temporarily, plus y must add up to 180. So now our angle y must be the 180 minus the 9x plus the 560, right? Just adding everything to the other side. And cleaning this up, we're going to get, what is that? 740 minus 9x. Okay, so that is the big angle. So it's 740 minus 9x. All right, so now what? Well, they said we're going to take the one acute angle, one of these red angles, and three of the obtuse, and we should get this. So let's just add them up first, ignoring the W. We'll deal with that in a minute. So it's 9x minus 560, that's one of our acute angles, plus 3 of the obtuse angles, 740 minus 9x. And let's clean this up. So it's 9x minus 560 plus, okay, 740 times 3, 2,220 minus 27x. Cool. Okay, so now let's just combine our terms here. I get negative 18x. Negative 18x, let's see, 220 minus 560, plus 1660. And this is supposed to equal, ultimately, this is like an equivalent expressions problem. This is supposed to equal negative 18x plus w. So since the negative 18x matches the negative 18x, that's good. It must mean this must match w. So our answer is therefore 1660. Another option for this one, if you didn't want to deal with the w's and the x's and all this junk, is just pick a value for x that will make this problem make sense, that will work given the constraints, and then figure out what you need to figure out based on that decision, and then see what you would get for w. So we got to pick an x that will give us an acute angle here. So I can't make x 1 because then I get some negative number, and I can't make x something really big because then I'll get an angle that's either too big or that's obtuse. So I do have to make a good choice for x here. So let's see. Well, x is 100 is too big. That would be 900 minus 560. But what if I did x is 70? 9 times 70 minus 560. Okay, wait, no. What was it? 9 times 60 minus, or 9 times 70. 9 times 70 minus 560. Okay, that looks good. So we're going to do this down here. We're going to say x is 70. And so that means our angle, 9 times 70 minus 560, our angle we found to be 70. That's an interesting coincidence. I don't know if that... No, that's just a coincidence, I think. Because if we did 80, I think we would get something different, right? 9 times 80 minus 560 is 160. Okay, yeah, that's just a coincidence that we plugged in x equals 70 and we got our angle at 70. Okay, so that's our acute angle. The obtuse angle then would be what? Well, it's just whatever plus 70 is equal, it adds up to 180. So it's got to be 110. So now what I'll do is I'll take my 70, I'll add my 110 times 3, add 3 of those to it, and let's see what we get. So 70 times 70 plus 330, so we get 400. So this is our answer, and we're told that this 400 is got to equal negative 18x plus w. Well, wait a minute, we know x, so let's just Baker substitution. We chose x to be 70, and now we just have a simple equation for w. So w is going to be 400 plus 18 times 70. 1660. So w is 1660, and there it is.